There is a quiet moment many gardeners know well. You step outside in the early morning, perhaps with a warm cup of coffee in your hand. The air still carries that cool softness from the night. The garden is peaceful. The soil smells fresh. For a moment, everything feels calm. Then you begin to look more closely. Between the tomatoes, there they are again. Around the lettuce, more of them. Along the edges of the beds, small green shoots have quietly returned. Weeds. You might pause and wonder how they came back so quickly. It feels like only yesterday you pulled them all out. The beds look clean, the soil looked tidy, and yet here they are again, almost as if the garden had other plans. If you've been gardening for many years, you probably had mornings like this. And it can make you wonder something simple but important. Why do weeds seem to return no matter how often we remove them? Interestingly, many traditional gardeners, especially communities like the Amish, approach this problem in a very different way. Instead of spending all their time pulling weeds, they focus on preventing many of them from appearing in the first place. And one of the most overlooked tools they use is something most of us already have sitting in the recycling pile: plain cardboard. It may sound almost too simple to be useful, but when it's used in the right way, cardboard can quietly change the way weeds behave in a garden. Before we go further, let me take a moment to welcome you. If you enjoy calm gardening conversations like this, the kind where we slow down and talk about what really happens in the soil, take a moment to like the video and subscribe to Golden Garden Days. It helps the channel grow and it lets us keep sharing these quiet garden lessons together. Now let's return to the weeds. Many gardeners believe weeds appear simply because we didn't pull them quickly enough. But the truth is a little deeper than that. Beneath every garden bed lies something that gardeners sometimes call a seed bank. Over the years, seeds from thousands of plants settle into the soil. Some arrive with the wind. Others are dropped by birds. Some fall from weeds that grew there years ago. Rain washes seeds into the ground, and time slowly buries them deeper. And what surprises many people is how long those seeds can remain alive underground. Some weed seeds can stay dormant for 10 years. Others may last 20 years or more. They simply wait. They wait quietly beneath the soil until the right conditions appear. And usually the two things they are waiting for are sunlight and disturbed soil. When we dig deeply into our garden beds, we often bring buried seeds back to the surface. Suddenly those seeds are exposed to light again, and they begin to grow. In a way, turning the soil can wake up a whole new generation of weeds. That is why some gardens seem to produce weeds endlessly, even when the gardener works hard to keep them under control. But traditional gardeners discovered something very useful about how weeds grow. Most weed seeds cannot sprout if they do not receive light. And that simple observation leads us to the cardboard method. The idea is not to remove every weed seed from the soil. That would be nearly impossible. Instead, the goal is to block sunlight from reaching those seeds. Cardboard acts as a natural light barrier. When it is placed on top of the soil, it prevents sunlight from reaching the weed seeds below. Without light, most of those seeds simply cannot grow. At the same time, cardboard does something else that benefits the garden. It slowly breaks down and becomes part of the soil. Earthworms are attracted to it. Microorganisms feed on it. Moisture softens it. Little by little, the cardboard disappears into the earth and turns into organic matter. Instead of fighting the soil, the method works with it. This approach has been used quietly by many traditional gardeners for generations. Often, the process begins at the end of the growing season or in early spring before planting begins. First, the garden area is cleared of tall weeds or leftover plant stems. There is usually no need to dig deeply or turn the soil. Many gardeners simply cut the plants down close to the ground. The roots are often left in place. Over time, those roots will break down and help improve the structure of the soil. Once the area is cleared, large sheets of cardboard are placed directly on the soil surface. Simple brown cardboard boxes work well for this. Most gardeners remove tape or heavily printed sections, but plain cardboard works beautifully. The pieces are laid down so they overlap slightly, almost like shingles on a roof. This helps make sure sunlight cannot slip through the seams. Even small gaps can give weeds an opportunity to grow, so gardeners usually take a little care when placing the layers. After the cardboard is in place, a layer of organic material is added on top. This might be compost, dried leaves, straw, grass clippings, or wood chips. The top layer helps hold the cardboard down, especially during windy weather. It also begins building rich soil above the cardboard. Then the quiet work begins beneath the surface. Over the following weeks and months, the life in the soil slowly gets to work. Worms pull pieces of cardboard down into their tunnels. Moisture softens the fibers. Microorganisms break the material apart little by little. Meanwhile, the weeds underneath the cardboard fade away because they are no longer receiving sunlight. What remains is soil that becomes softer, darker, and easier to work with. Many gardeners who try this method notice something surprising the following season. The number of weeds drops dramatically. They don't disappear completely. Weeds are part of nature after all. But the constant struggle becomes much easier to manage. Another quiet benefit of covering the soil like this is moisture control. Bare soil loses water quickly, especially on warm days. But when the surface is covered, moisture stays in the ground longer. That means plants often need less frequent watering. For gardeners who live in areas with hot summers or dry spells, this can make a noticeable difference. The soil stays more balanced. Cardboard can also be helpful when creating new garden beds. Some gardeners use it directly on top of grass or lawn areas when they want to expand the garden. Instead of digging up the turf, the cardboard is laid right over the grass. Because the cardboard blocks sunlight, the grass underneath gradually dies back. At the same time, it begins breaking down and turning into organic material. A layer of compost or mulch is added on top, and over time the area transforms into a new planting bed. For older gardeners especially, this method can save a great deal of physical effort. There is far less digging involved. The soil slowly softens on its own as worms and microorganisms do the work beneath the surface. And in many ways, that is how nature prefers to operate, slowly and steadily. Now I'm curious about something. Have you ever tried using cardboard in your garden before? Some gardeners have been using this method for years, while others are hearing about it for the first time. If you have experimented with it, feel free to share your experience in the comments. Your story might help another gardener decide to try it in their own garden. Another thing that experienced gardeners often mention is patience. The cardboard method does not produce overnight results. It works gradually, but gardens often reward patience. Over time, the soil improves, the weed pressure becomes lighter, and the garden begins to feel more manageable again. There is also something peaceful about spending less time fighting weeds. Instead of battling the soil week after week, the gardener begins guiding the soil in a quieter way. A few small details can make this method even more effective. Plain cardboard works best. Boxes without heavy plastic coatings tend to break down more easily in the soil. Watering the cardboard after placing it down can help it settle against the ground. Damp cardboard molds closely to the soil surface and blocks light more effectively. Adding a generous layer of mulch on top helps keep everything in place and prevents the cardboard from drying out too quickly. Over time, the cardboard simply disappears. When planting season arrives, gardeners can often plant directly through the softened layers. Small holes can be cut for seedlings, or fresh compost can be added on top for direct planting. One of the most satisfying moments comes when you look across your garden beds later in the season. Something feels different. The beds look calmer. The weeds are no longer crowding every corner. You may still see a few here and there, but they are no longer taking over the garden. And that small change can make gardening feel enjoyable again, rather than exhausting. Before we finish today, let me ask you one more simple question. When you step into your garden in the morning, what is the first thing you notice? Is it the sound of birds moving through the trees? The way the sunlight touches the leaves? Or perhaps the smell of the soil after a light rain? Gardens have a quiet way of slowing us down. They remind us that growth happens steadily, often beneath the surface where we cannot see it. And sometimes the solutions to our biggest gardening frustrations are not complicated at all. Sometimes there are simple ideas that have been passed down quietly from one generation of gardeners to another. If you enjoyed spending this time together in the garden, consider subscribing to Golden Garden Days for more calm and thoughtful gardening conversations like this. And if you have your own tips, observations, or experiences with weeds and soil, feel free to share them in the comments. Gardeners often learn the most from one another. Until next time, may your soil stay rich, your plants grow steadily, and your garden bring you many peaceful mornings.